Okay. So what I said today, my work is to emphasize what would be the best, what we should take care of in this preparation, during this preparation time, to have in mind that all that we are preparing should be presented as a part of the online course. However, if I understood well, some of the schools will use our course as a tool that will help them to perform the whole course as a part of some other course. So in that case, I would like first just to recall and to remind you what we are really doing. So the purpose of creating this online course is to make the course which will be part of a flipped classroom approach, which is innovative way. And for somebody who doesn't know what is flipped classroom approach, very briefly, it is an innovative approach where we are changing the way of teaching in a way that we are expecting from students to come prepared to the class, and inside of the class we are not giving lecture anymore, so we are doing some active teaching, which means doing some PBL, CBL, inquiry teaching, or project teaching, or discussion just by itself. So the way how is it working is to transfer classical teaching out of the class into in virtual environment. So everything that we are supposed to do in the class, so all this lecturing in the class, we will take out from the class and present through the course, to the LMS, to virtual site. So what is this project makes different from other projects? So in this case, we are trying to adjust to new generation, so-called Z generation, which are a lot. There was a huge difference between this generation comparing with some generation 10 years ago. I'm talking about from my experience. So these are generation that are really impatient. They want to have very fast information, they want to have very short information, and that is true. You just think about what is the most popular among this generation is TikTok. TikTok lasts few minutes, that's it. Whatever you need to tell, you need to tell in few minutes. So the base of this project is to create such kind of, to have such kind of approach through a nano-learning, micro-learning, even mini-learning, but exceptionally. When we talk about the nano and the micro-learning, it means to transfer our classical teaching into nano and micro-learning. So it means to chunk the whole lecture in small pieces that are, each of them are completely standalone, which means they don't depend of each other in sense of to be continuing. It's just they can stay alone. They have a starting point, they have introduction, they have a major part, and then a summary at the end. And this is the way how this classical teaching has to be transferred in virtual environment. Second things that is a part of new approach is to create self-evaluation tests, because flipped classroom is an approach that has to have three components. The first component is teaching, so video presentation or podcasts or videos that covers the topic that has to be presented. Second major part component is self-evaluation test. So student has to test itself. Did they understood what we are willing or what we are wanting to transfer to them? And the third part is in-class part, which means active interaction with students. So in our case, all this our work is based on preparing students for the class. So that's the reason why we have all these texts and all these short videos that we are creating so far, designing so far, and at the end, the course that will be as a product of this project will be used for free classroom approach. It means it has a goal to prepare students for the class, and inside of class they will have some kind of interaction. So what I'm gonna do now, I'm gonna show you how we designed the whole course to see, and we were using for that one tool, which is free, web tool, which help us to design all our teaching and learning activities, which means video presentation, quizzes, podcast, then text, then everything that can be helpful for student preparation. And not only that, to design what kind of tool of learning activities we want, but also how much time will take students to get prepared or to come prepared to the class. Because since our project is 3 ECTS, which means all loads of the students has to be below 90 hours, because each of the ECTS points is equivalent to 30 hours. It means all our activities, together with activities in the class, could not be more than 90 hours. So that's the reason why we were using that free tool, which help us to design the whole course. And as you can see, this is still in progress. This on the screen, you're going to see that kind of the tool. Tool is a BDP tool, which is free, and it will stay free because it was part of another project, Erasmus project, and it will be just in this moment new version, new project, just introducing AI in this tool. So in 2-3 years, when the project is going to finish, and I'm part of this project, so I know all these details, will be supported by AI and for different way of teaching. So what we did, we created we designed our course in a way that we first created learning outcomes, and then for each of these, Excellent. So for each of these modules, we created learning activities. So there are, as you can see, there are 4 modules, and inside of each of these modules, there are, what you can see, each module has certain amount of hours. Altogether has to be below 90 hours, okay? And here are design. So as you can see, the team that was in charge for module 1 designed this module 1 in a way that they think, okay, the module has to start with orientation, so overview about model, then nano lecture about critical thinking, micro lecture, podcast, lesson, micro lecture, and so on. So there are enough learning activities, teaching and learning activities, and as you can see, each of them is there is a workload for each of them. That workload is our perception, how much students need to cover each of these learning activities. So when we designed all of these modules, all 4 modules, what we did, we just transferred by of course, there is analysis when you, since this is in progress, you can see we're still working on, so it's still, there are some activities that is going to be added because it's not finished. And give us a very nice analysis, what we need and how we need to change some of these modules, which one has more acquisition, more practice, depends kind of module, what is the nature of each of these modules. So you can see there are differences between them, which is expectable because they cover different parts of critical thinking. Not only that, there is something that is very, I wouldn't say it's popular, it's something that is necessary, which is a constructive alignment. So everything is based on learning outcome. So when we designed this course, we had to think about a constructive alignment. It means whether our learning activity covers all of these learning outcomes that we think is the most important. So when we turn it on, it has to be 100% at the end. So since it's not done, that is the reason why it's not covered all of these learning outcomes, but at the end should be 100% for each of them, showing that all learning outcomes are covered with these learning activities during all these 4 modules. Not only that, what is also nicely from this program is give us whether we distributed learning outcomes in correct way, whether the lower level has a lower weight comparing with a higher level, and then whether all of them, so that's the reason why it's 0, because it's not finished, how much of each of learning outcomes is covered with different activities. So we are expecting that a higher level of learning outcome will have more activities. At the end, when it's done, everything, we can export. For these purposes, I did it and exported non-finished part. So by exporting, it's just clicking on export and choosing Moodle as exporting part. By clicking Moodle means it is ready to export all design into the LMS. Why it's so helpful? Because whatever we designed will be immediately transferred to LMS, Moodle as a platform, already prepared for just filling with different activities. If there is, for example, if we said here is going to be nano teaching, what do you think? What we're going to choose to be a resource in LMS? It's going to be file. If it's a lesson, it's going to be lesson, and so on. To have that, we need to do in a way, as you can see here, 1 second, Control minus, to be seen. Here. So for example, if we see here micro lecture, it means micro lecture is video presentation that was recorded, so it is file. Instead of page, we're going to choose, okay, here is going to be file. What does it mean? It means in the moment when we transfer this design to LMS, I don't need to change anything. I don't need to introduce new resource. I'm just using this resource, and what I need to do is just add or not introduce.
Just upload.
Upload, thank you.
Yes.
Upload the video that we already prepared. So that's how is it working. So I'm going to stop here. Of course, when it's quiz, it's going to be quiz. When it's a lesson, it's going to be, instead of page, what will you choose? We're going to choose lesson. What has to be emphasized when we have such kind of course where we are expecting that students will be prepared by itself and the majority of work will be through online itself work, then a lesson is one of the leading activities inside of Moodle in general. Why lesson? I'm going to show you now, and this is the major today major presentation is about the lesson, because a lesson is the way how we can present many of the things that we need to present as a part of this online course. So creating video presentation, great. It can be part of lesson. If we create quizzes, great. Can be part of the lesson. And lesson leads students from page to page. And after several pages, can ask student, okay, you read something, now answer on the question. And the question can be either true or false, can be multiple choice, can be matching. And these three are most common. A way of checking if students understood what they just read or they watched during this process of acquisition of the knowledge. So, how does it look like when all this design, of course, has each of these resource or activity has to be checked and choose the right resource or right activities so that we don't have any additional work that is not necessary in this case. So how does it work? I hope it's not gonna. So let me just. And this is product of this transfer. So I didn't touch anything. This is what I got by transferring from BDP2. So as you can see, there is module 1, fundamental critical thinking, learning outcomes, that was designed for module 1. Then module 1 has a submodule 1.1, introduction to critical thinking. First is orientation. Orientation means in our case, orientation is very important because it guides students how to study that module 1. So it will tell the student, okay, first we'll suggest you first to watch this and this. Then when you finish this, you will need for that 10 minutes. Then when you finish, read this. And for that you're gonna need 20 minutes. The next step that you're going to do, the best would be take a lesson. It will take you through certain things, very short explanation, and how much time they will spend. So we are guiding students through whole module. So he has or she has at least some idea how much time it will they will spend by going through the whole module. So, and this is a page. It's empty since we didn't introduce anything inside of it. Then we have a nano lecture. Somebody had obligation to create a nano lecture, critical thinking, brief overview. So how does it look like? It's already prepared for just uploading lecture. And how does it look like? You can see it now. Let me just a second. I'm going to open. So nano lecture. I believe that everybody was using LMS. so I don't need to explain how LMS look like and how. So LMS Moodle. When I say LMS, thinking about Moodle. So when I click. 1 second, I lost.
Just need to let people.
Okay. Submit all.
Yeah.
Okay. Was it? Okay. So when here, when I click on the settings, edit settings, what I need to do is drag and drop here, and that's it. It's ready. So if we have a video presentation already prepared, we are just drag and drop in this part, save, and after that we're gonna see this resource field. So it doesn't allow me now in this moment, so I'm gonna cancel to return back to the course, because it has to be uploaded with video presentation. So this is the way how we are uploading files. So it means video presentation, podcast, YouTube video that we can use, because some of these by a fair use approach, if it's not something that we are earning some money, which is this case, we can use some of videos, and there are really nice videos on YouTube, and introduce in the course. Also, it can be just a video that we didn't record, just found, and we are allowed to use it. Also, in this file, as you already know, we can upload PDF. It means, like here, next one, 1 second, I think, reading material. Reading material, I left here a page, because reading material can be interactive. If we are creating interactivity of reading material, so it means from our no, it's not book, previously.
Handbook.
Handbook, okay, we'll send a handbook. So if we make it interactive, it means inside of the text we are doing a hyperlink. Why do it in PDF if we can do it in a way as a page? Because page gives us that interactivity. Not only that, we can also introduce some videos, short videos. That is something that is really necessary for certain text. So it's up to our author, who will be in charge for that, to choose what option is going to use. Either file, which is PDF, just reading, or interactive materials, then it's page. Interactive materials, it's easy to create, because LMS is this, I can even show. So when you settings, so when we open page, so we can here just paste our text, and for example, if I want to make interactive, it means add some link to some videos, or to videos inside of the course, because reading materials covering what we are showing by videos, by podcast, and so on. So text by itself can lead students to a certain path. This is one way, the one approach, which is, I would say, old-fashioned way for Moodle. Today, mostly, it's used some other approach, which is lessons, which is, for me, much better than this page, but page is still okay. So this is one approach. I'm gonna go back. So what we have is lessons. No, I'm going to stay now on the lessons. So lesson, it's activities inside of Moodle that can lead students from page to page. So I'm going to just, for these purposes, open another, let me just, because some other I have already prepared, because I was preparing earlier, this lesson. So how does it look, that lesson? So as you can see, lesson has, it looks like book, somehow like a book, but a book that can have so many different activities, which means it can have videos, can have tests, can have podcasts, whatever you have, you can introduce into the lesson. And what is especially for our project is nicely, and this is for Nicola and Violetta and other who are, and Tamar and others who are in this critical thinking on the way of thinking, is to purposely mislead students to think if they choose the right pathway to answer on certain question, for argument, for deduction, for induction, and so on and so on. Why? Because in a lesson, you can give them opportunity to choose two ways, either one way or another way. So it's based on the pathway they choose. We can lead them to get some conclusion, not answer immediately what you said, guys. We are not giving them answer, we are pushing them to think if they choose right pathway. So that's, for that purposes, we have to be, and author who are in charge for that, very careful how they will lead students to be not so obvious, but they push them to think about or to reflect what they think is correct or not correct way. So how does it work like? I'm gonna show first here, as you can see, page 1, it's not gonna be page 1, it's gonna have a title. So in page 1 there is some part of the text, and it can be interactive. It is glossary. I think I have glossary. Let me just check. No, it's not connected. But inside of the text, when we create inside of the Moodle glossary, when that word appears in any text inside of the whole course, it will have hyperlink, which means when you get over the word, it will appear pop-up window with explanation what means certain term. So this is one really nicely that can easily student can recall, or if they want some of these terms to recall. Also, they can have, I didn't put here, but they can have even how they proceed through certain lesson. So it will give them, okay, now you passed 10%, then you passed 20% of the lecture, then you passed 30%. So in each moment he knows how far is from the end of the certain lesson. So next page. The student doesn't see this. I can see because I'm teacher. I see this because this is for editing the 1 second. Sorry guys, I didn't think about. So it's going to be in English. Okay, so I can see as a teacher, but student doesn't see this part. They see only this part. So here there is a one button, there is a second one. Instead of next page, it can be certain title, certain topic that we are lead them to branch them to different direction. Everything depends how the whole topic is designed. So the next is, so this is the third page. As you can see, here is quiz that is connected with the text they read before. So if they make mistake, for example, choose the wrong one, if they submit, what can happen? Oh, this is exactly by accident. So it will return back them to the certain page, or it just will tell them, okay, this is not correct, try again. So this is the way how is it working. This is the next one. So here can be several buttons, not only one, so several branches. However, it's not recommended for the students because it can be very confusing if there is too many branches. Just leads, we have to lead student in certain line, but with different excursion to different terms that has to be explained, or the topic that has to be discussed. And I think this is the end. Yes, end of the lesson. So how is it to design this lecture? So I'm going to go back, edit lesson. So it looks like this. Since it's already designed the base, I will show you on this one, and then I'm going to show how does it look when you start from the scratch, from the beginning. So what you have, after each page, you will find here, do you want to import question? Do you want to import another page? Or do you want to do cluster? Cluster means when you have several questions that are together, but each time when student open the same lesson, these questions will rotate. So they will not be in the same order. So every time it will be certain question, first, second, third. Next time, third will be first. Even we can make that can be choose just one question and then continue further. And by случайностью, by yes, like the program choosing randomly choosing one of the question, and then you're going further. I'm just giving you what this lesson gives you as opportunity, so you have to think about how you can use these activities inside of the lesson. Also, there is add a question page. So when I click on add a question, so first I'm going to add the content page. So by clicking that, I'm getting new window. So there is a title of the page. That title, it's something that we see, not students. The title gives us idea what is inside of the page. If we want to have title of the page that's for students, then we're going to repeat the same title here. So this is the window that students see, not this one. This one, it's only for us to have idea how we design the whole lesson. And here, it's a button. So here I can say, okay, next page. Since I already have pages, so I can say, okay, my next page is going to be page 2. So it's not going to be next page, is going to be exactly the page that I already designed. So I'm pretty sure what is going to be chosen. Because if you leave next page, if you change something, the next page is not going to be something that you want. But if you choose exact page that has a title that you already know what is that, you could not make mistake. Then you can choose another button. So these buttons it's branching. It leads students to different direction, depends on the topic that we want to present, or this is very nice, I would say, for arguments, for example. If you have examples, you can say example 1, example 2, example 3. So choosing example 1, it will go one direction, and then finish example 1. Then returning back on the main page, and then example 2, then example 3. We will choose, either we want him to go over all examples and to finish the lesson, or just choosing one, it's fine. So everything is based on settings that we're going to do in lesson activity. So this is one. Next, I will say next, just to have it. So it's going to look like this. Okay, sorry. Probe. And I have to put something here. And how does it look like? So I have a probe, and the text, probe. For me, this is information to me, so I exactly know how does it look at that page. I will explain why it's so important. And then one button and I couldn't. So the effect. So when you save this page, you'll see, okay, this is something that, how does it, 1 second, it's here, how it looks like this page. And if I want to see how students is going to see that page, you just need to click on preview. By clicking on preview, it's going to look like this. So there is one button, second button, here is the text. This is probe 1 that is the title of the page. Why do we need this title of the page? For that is when we use edit lesson, we have two approaches. One is expanded. Expanded means we see everything. So that page, that site can be a kilometer long. Or we can say, okay, I don't want expanded. I want to have collapsed. And then I see only title of the pages. Mm-hmm. And I easily can design the whole lesson and know exactly, so if I want to change, for example, I want to move this up. So just clicking here and telling, okay, it's going to be on the first move to the here, and so on and so on. So this is one thing, how we are creating pages inside the lesson. Now the next question is, how can I, so I'm going to go back. Yes, I moved. Why doesn't, okay. So here, after page 2, I'm going to introduce another question. So what I'm going to do, here, when it's collapsed, just add new question, add a question page. So adding question page, it will ask us, do I want to have multiple choice, true and false, or matching? I'm not using essay because somebody has to check that. I'm not using numerical or short answer because has to be, I don't know exactly numerical, it must be something for mathematics, not. So, in this case, if it's multiple choice, I will show for each of them, add question page. Again, title that students don't see. Now is a question, title of the question. And here, answer 1, an explanation of answer 1. Then, answer 2, explanation answer 2. If usually answer 1 is a correct one, and it tells you next page. Don't worry about that. Being first doesn't mean that it will appear first, because it will randomly change the position of the answers. So you don't need to think about that. It's easier to first one, bold correct one, that will lead you further. So it's gonna lead you next page. If it's wrong, stay on the same page. So you have to repeat answer on the question. So this is one thing. If I don't want multiple choice, if I want to have true and false, why does it want? How?
I have to reload.
Reload. Now, true and false, and question. And here, it's a question, true and false, statement. That is nicely for our project. Just a statement, is the statement correct or not correct? So here in this window is going to be statement. In the correct response, yes, why yes, or no, why no. And the third one, which is very nice, and I like to use that one, is matching. And have in mind all these questions for every text that we're going to use. I checked if you're using either Notebook LM, either new version, so 5.1 plus version of the ChatGPT, even Google. Gemini. I'm using all the time, and I just forgot. I always using 4 of them. I'm using ChatGPT, Gemini, Claude, and Knez, DeepSeek. And I found Chat and Gemini are the best for that, and for this kind of questions that I need from the text, then Notebook LM, it's really good. But ChatGPT also. Don't forget, Gemini gives you upload. You don't need to be subscribed. Nice, relatively big upload, and gives you really good questions. So usually what I'm doing is to do with several AI tools and checking which one gives me the best question and a good answer and explanation and answer. What is the most important when you're going to prepare for this, or I can do it, it's not a big deal, from your text, of course. You have to tell tool to give answer exactly from the text that is uploaded, not any text, not a general answer, exactly from the text, so it will be connected with our handbook and our course, and that is important. Here, matching is very easy. Again, title, this is something that needs for us, and I'm done very soon. I'm done in a few minutes, because why? Because matching pair 1 and answer, what is the match? So this is a question, answer, all answer, question. Depends what matching we're gonna use for that purposes. So going back to our course, I think it's here. I would recommend, since the whole project is still in development, to think how to transfer your text into lessons, because the lessons is shown to be the best for students, because as you can see, you can add the videos inside. I didn't show you it. You can add the videos, you can add podcasts, you can quizzes, you saw that. So it can, my question that was for Violeta and Nicola before, one of the way how lesson can be used for your examples, on one page you have answer a question, and then they have buttons to choose which one, in which way they will go. And you can lead them and mislead them, depends how much time you have for preparation. I hope I was presenting enough that you can see what awaits us to finish this part, and how to prepare all these lectures that we are, and modules that we have to prepare for our course. Thank you very much.